Because of time, let me ask, what would you think if I said to you that Christ had demons in his body? That'll be funny? It'll be hard to believe? I'm sorry? Yeah. Let him see you on the mic. It's funny and hard to believe.
It's not hard to believe. It's a lie.
It's a lie?
100%.
Who all think it's a lie? How about you? You said it's a lie 100%. What do you say?
I mean, I think that's something I've never really given thought to before. I've never even heard anybody say that.
All right. That's more honest than anything. You haven't given thought to that.
I've never given thought to it.
Yes, ma'am.
But are you saying that because...
I haven't said it yet. I said if I were to say that.
Oh, okay.
But I am saying it.
Okay. Okay.
That's why
are you saying it because there's no other way to get around the human experience without it?
100%.
Okay. And
100%.
Yeah. And for Sean, the only thing I would ask is if you don't want to think about identifying with evil, then how come we don't do that with everything else? For some reason, the idea of evil, to me, speaks directly to something, and I just realized the power of it. And again, I think for me, you want to disarm things so that you can be at peace and not be affected by it.
Yes.
Because I've been affected by a lot. I mean, coming in here, I was raging hell. I couldn't even, if somebody would have sat next to me, it would have jumped off of me onto them. And so I realized that all of that came from me stepping into it and trying to wade in the waters. And I think for me, like, what's been helping me in these last few weeks is trying to be disarming. Like,
yes.
Stop being involved in it. Stop like running straight to it and saying, I've got a hose, I'll put out the fire. Like, so I didn't understand when you said just watch it, but I think just watching it is how you disarm it, how you take the weapons away, you get out of the way, and uncomfortable as it is, like those weird, like you get anxious and that fire starts, moving around inside of you and you can actually feel it.
Yes.
That to me shows me that it's evil. And I get what you're saying about not identifying with it, but I don't think that the devil comes to play like that. I don't think that
he doesn't.
I think that you can be this neutral, like, I'm just going to say nothing. I think that I don't think he plays fair like that, so.
As a matter of fact, when you come to know that your nature is evil, you won't identify with it because you would know it's evil and not you, without even telling yourself, I'm not identifying with it. I don't want to identify with good or evil, right? You would just know that your nature is evil. When you hear me say Christ had evil in his body, what do you say to that?
It's hard for me to believe that.
I'm sorry?
It was hard for me to believe that.
And why?
Because God, like reading the scriptures, when he sent him down, he made a perfect form of him, like his son. But then I do see how he had to be humanized, and I understand if he's going to be humanized, then he has to have that evil too.
Yes.
So
I have never been told that Christ had evil in his body. I've never been told. I realized that the other day. I'm like, what the? Christ came in human form, a physical body just like us. In his body, God was in the body, guiding him just like God is in us. That's why when you start to look at yourself, the light comes on, you start to see by the light, right? But what happened was Christ had to take on everything that we did so he could destroy evil. He had to take on fear and doubt and worry, insecurity, jealousy, and strife. And because in the Old Testament, no one was able to, they were all evil through Israel. They were in the whole body and mind, everything was evil, right? And so God sent Christ so he could pay for us, buy us back from the devil. So we become children of the Father, right? And so everything that's in your body, Christ went through it too, in his body and mind. The devil tempted him, taunted him, challenged him, made offerings to him, did everything spiritually in his mind and body, just like what we are going through now. The fortunate thing is, when he said it was done, he was put on the cross, he said it was done, he went down into hell, and he unlocked the gates of hell. He defeated the devil and all that. He defeated it so that we can do it too. The devil has no power. But had Christ not taken on everything in his body, that doesn't mean God himself was that way, but in the body where the devil dwells is what he was dealing with. In the flesh. You know how they said the flesh is weak, but the spirit is willing? Our flesh is weak because of that. Satan dwells in the mind and the body. And so Christ had that in him too. And he took it on, he destroyed it, so that now that the devil is in our mind and body, he has no authority. You know, some people say they're waiting on the, what they waiting for that? They're waiting for the rapture. They're waiting for the end times. You heard that, right? Anybody here wait for the rapture? Y'all can be honest. You wait for it?
It's so funny you bring that up because it scares me. And I kind of like anticipate it a little bit.
The rapture? What do you think it is?
Well, I was thinking maybe it's just the rapture, like, I don't know if it's more so a physical thing than it is just a spiritual thing of you really seeing who people are.
It's spiritual. When two become one, you're in the rapture. When you are made whole, you're in the rapture. The end time is already here. The new world order is already here. It's done. It's already here. Everything is already done. But the devil and the false teachers got the Christians waiting on something that's already done. It's already done. You're already raptured when you become, as long as you're divided, you're like out there crazy, right? But the rapture is done when you become whole. And Christ made that possible. That's why when you get rid of tomorrow and yesterday or the past or the future, you become whole, the rapture is done. It's done. And every human nature is evil. And he allowed me to see my nature is evil. And when I say my nature is for communication purposes, it's my nature. And so when the light comes on, when you go and forgive your mother, your father, all who are born through the woman must forgive because evil comes through the woman. You are all daughters of Eve. But then when you go and forgive and return to the fathers, you become daughters of God. And so when you go and forgive, the light comes on, and the light starts to separate you from the evil nature. It starts to separate you, and when you start to see it, you let go, and it will destroy the nature of the devil. Every human being has to go through that in order to truly be born again. He will give you a brand new nature. Every one of you in this room, including myself, nature is evil. And it's always scheming and lying and playing and tricking you and gaming and blah, blah, blah. But you call it something else. But the nature is evil. People who gossip, people who get revenge, people who are jealous, people who create wars. People that create wars are evil. Their spirit is evil, and evil is working through them to create a war. Let's go have a war so you can make some money. Let's join nations together and call them the United Nations so we can get our instruction from the big dog, Satan himself. and put fear into people. Let's come up with a new disease and make the people afraid. Because the people are afraid anyway. Make them afraid that they're going to die. And the nations get together, which are evil. They're getting their instruction from the big dog, Satan himself. And they are creating this fear. And they know the people are afraid because everybody has anger, is afraid. And they keep you on your toes so they can use you for money and power to control you. Every human being is evil. And until you see that, and you can't make yourself see it, but until you see it, you don't have to think about, oh, I'm neither good nor bad. You're not supposed to be thinking that way anyway. Those are just thoughts. But no one has ever told me Christ had evil in his body. And he is not the body. We are not our body. That's where Satan dwells. In order for us to overcome, he had to conquer it for us. And I remember when he said, Father, why have you forsaken me? The light went out. And he was in total darkness. And he had to go through that so he can conquer the darkness. And when you're angry, when you're jealous, when you're strife, when you're acting pretense, your lights are out too, and you're in total darkness. And that's what Christ experienced. And so if you want to die, you're going to have to die consciously. You have to stay present and die. Meaning watch those thoughts, watch those feelings consciously. And the light of God will destroy the old nature. We need a new nature. A new nature. Okay. When I saw that, I'm like, when I bring this up in the church, they're going to call me blaspheme.